Dr. Eleanor Ehrenkrantz on One Art by Elizabeth Bishop.
Grief and how to cope with it is a topic psychologists, social workers, and clergymen have written and discussed for years. But how grief feels, only poets can describe. When Elizabeth Bishop begins talking about the art of losing, it seems as if she's telling us that the things we lose can be accepted without too much suffering. It begins, the art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day except the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Then practice losing farther, losing faster, places and names and where it was you meant to travel. None of these things will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch. And look, my last or next to last of 3 loved houses went. The art of losing isn't hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vast are some realms I owned, 2 rivers, a continent. I missed them, but it wasn't a disaster. Even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love, I shan't have lied. It's evident the art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like disaster. So first she talks about the little things we lose and recommends that we accept the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. I think it is harder to accept an hour badly spent if it means I was bored to distraction by someone talking about inane topics, such as a bad housekeeper or dish patterns, or being in gridlock unexpectedly waiting endlessly for cars to move an inch. But she ends that stanza with a line she repeats often. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So I feel hopeful when she mentions losing places and names and where it was you meant to travel. Or in my case, what films I meant to see but forgot about. And I understand her comment that none of these will bring disaster. But then she talks about losing her mother's watch and 3 loved houses, and I begin to doubt her closing line in that stanza that the art of losing isn't hard to master. This is followed by some wild assertions. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vast as some realms I owned, 2 rivers, a continent. I missed them, but it wasn't a disaster. How do you lose a kingdom nowadays, or 2 rivers? No one owns these things, and so I realize that she is going somewhere else now. The long dash that introduces the last stanza is the key to her grief. That long pause suggests that she is unable to speak, like Cordelia in King Lear, too overcome with emotion to manage having words come out of her mouth. Even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love, I shan't have lied. It's evident the art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, write it, like disaster. I note that she has changed the smoothly spoken the art of losing isn't hard to master to one that seems to be spoken through gritted teeth in staccato rhythm. The art of losing's not too hard to master. And the bitterness comes through even more so when she tells herself to write this lie down because it may look like disaster. When she says write it, she wants it in black and white so she can look at it and face reality. So she has carefully constructed a poem about losing. First small things to slightly larger things, and then in the last stanza to the largest loss of all, which is so unbearable she has to lie to herself about the magnitude of the loss by writing it down. Speaking about it truthfully would be much too overwhelming. And we realize that she is really speaking about her immense grief at losing someone she loved at the end of the poem.